Good morning,
Good morning.
everyone.
Happy Friday.
What's going on?
Welcome to our town hall. We do these every other week now. Today it is just me and Ninja Surprise. Everyone else is on vacation since it is summer. It's a good vacation time, so there's no Volcron this week. We will try our best to field your questions as they come in.
This is definitely the best time to take vacation too. So
Oh,
much
yeah, right in the summer.
weather's so nice. Yeah. Do you have any
Yep.
vacation or travel plans, Farmer Michelle?
No.
No, not at all.
I went to North Carolina last weekend. That was from South Carolina. It was like an hour drive. That was a small vacation.
That's nice. Do anything exciting there?
Not really. Went to the beach, which isn't super exciting because I already live at the beach.
Oh,
But it was a different beach.
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right. So should we get into the latest happenings with Common Ground World?
Let's do it. Let's say good morning to everybody. We've got a Shanratty, we've got Moyes, we've got Gangbusta. Who else is here? Dubstep's here. We got Zaza MGC is here. LV Postman's here. Will Bach is here. Cam Rar is here somewhere. Lonely Island's around. Awesome. We've been doing these town halls for just about 2 years now. I think it's pretty close to the 2 year mark from today that we started them. So that's pretty awesome. Happy 2 year anniversary for town halls. Let me share this link for the questions that we take questions from every week in case anyone needs the question form. It is always best to ask those questions in advance so that we can take our time to ask around and get the proper answers in case it's something we need to ask from QA or anyone else. So it's always best to ask those questions in advance. We do take live questions as well, though, to the best of our ability. All right, let's jump into headlines then. We've got the rewards finally went out for the last 2 weeks. So the Starlight Market Box rewards from July 2nd went out, and the chocolate ice cream cone rewards from July 9th also went out. Those market box rewards were a little bit odd the first time they came out, but we did figure it out and sent them out properly. The leaderboard has been updated in the Google Sheet. I'll share that in Discord as well. It's right there. It's in the FAQ if you ever need to find it. So it's right there. It's always there. Both of the 2 last events are in there now and updated. So you can check to see where you ranked. And next reminder I have here is for the free monthly storage. So every month we do a free storage NFT. There's 3 different rarities of them that go out. We've got a common one, an uncommon one, and a rare one. The common one is for anybody who plays 10 days, makes about 25 trades over the course of the month. The uncommon one is for anybody who owns a Townstar node and runs their node for 6 hours a day for 10 days a month. And the rare one is for anybody who plays 25 days of the month and makes at least 75 trades throughout the course of the month. Fast forward does not count for any of that, so you have to actually open the game on 25 separate days or 10 separate days in order to get those. And this month, July, is a coffee bean storage. So in case you're looking for an extra space to store your coffee beans for all those coffee metas, definitely try to get that rare one. It holds 40 coffee beans, so pretty sweet. The next headline I have here is a reminder to be careful from scammers. I try to remind people in chat as often as I can whenever they ask for support, but scammers do send you DMs and ask you for all kinds of nasty information. So don't send them anything when they send you DMs, which they inevitably do. No one from Gala Games or the Common Ground World team will ever directly send you a DM unless you send them a DM first. So if anyone is sending you a DM claiming to be from Gala Games, they're not from Gala Games. We're not going to ask you for your seed phrase. We're not going to ask you for your password. We're not going to ask you to share your screen so we can read your password. So don't do any of that kind of stuff. That's how people get access to your wallet and steal all of your NFTs. So definitely be careful out there. Also make sure if you're Googling the link for Gala Games or for Common Ground World, that you make sure you're clicking on the right link. A lot of times scammers will buy ad space on Google Ads and they'll get the top link. So just be extra careful. All right, the next section I have here is the game updates from Volcron. So bear with me as I try to pretend I'm Volcron for a little bit. We have a new user flow with new screens. Looks like they're mostly done, so that should be coming out soon. I know we're trying to get the game to look a little bit more user-friendly for new players. So there's going to be, tips and stuff like that tip that's on the main screen now when you load in the game about windmills and wood and wheat to make flour. So anything we can do to help new players is definitely what we're trying to do. See, we've got daily challenges. That timeline is still the same as the one in the pins. It hasn't been adjusted or anything yet. It's like currently the engineers are working on calculating points and the actual UI for claiming. I did see some people chatting internally about different buttons and different screens to make sure that the user interface looked okay and it was understandable. So that's what's happening now. I know Volcron has also been working on iOS mobile stuff because the game gets a little weird sometimes on iOS. So that is in progress. And we've got a game update for bug fixes. We did fix that stuck units at the trough bug, but apparently fixing that bug is what caused the wood bug, which we're currently looking into. I did see some progress on QA last night, so hopefully we can get that resolved. They are having pretty good success rate at seeing it now, so it should be fixed, hopefully. We'll see when the update comes out later today. Is there anything that you wanted to say, Ninja Surprise, before I move on into the Q&A?
I guess I could give a little bit of a quick update about social media and like what we've just been doing. So, yeah, we've been looking to do some more events, just more contests that could really allow you guys to get creative. I know that the last few ones that we had were just really fun, and we want to keep doing more of those for sure. For social media, it's mostly just been the same, just being the source of information about the game and just showcasing when we have the latest sales, latest NFT drops, and the latest competitions. So yeah, I appreciate any sort of support you guys have been giving us on social media, and yeah, we'll definitely look to have more events coming soon for it.
Awesome. Love community events. That decorations contest we did was so much fun to look through that channel and see all of the different decorations towns. I had a blast looking through them.
Yeah, the art
There's some
competition
really,
and the
yeah,
decorations one were great. I also really loved the decorations one because it was in game, so it allowed everybody to do something that was really different from outside of just crafting and competitions, and it was a little bit more design or art focused. So people really were able to get creative and have fun with that sort of aspect in the game.
yeah, that was definitely a lot of fun. Some of those were absolutely stunning. The things that people could make just with decorations.
Oh yeah,
So
I saw them
cool.
make the characters. I saw them make Gala logos. It was really awesome seeing how creative they get. And yeah, I'd love to see more of that in the game too. Even if there was a different mode, or if we even had other ideas to use that sort of that sort of process in future competitions. So yeah, if anybody has ideas on how we could have other competitions like that, feel free to let me know. Just ping me in the chat. And yeah, I'd love to hear your ideas.
Awesome. All right, well, let's move on to the Q&A. So the first question I have here says, good morning. Vulture asks, why doesn't the Guild NFT library info page reflect what's placed in Common Ground World mode? For example, 5 owned water pumps, 2 lent to Guild, 3 available to place, 0 already placed, but 3 are placed in Common Ground World mode. I'm not 100% sure why it doesn't show that, but we will definitely look into it. I know we've got a lot of updates coming for the Guild library and for guilds in general. Once we get to version 2 of guilds, that should be coming out, I don't know, in a few weeks at the absolute earliest, but probably not that soon. We don't have any guild events coming up, so it's not a huge thing to worry about currently. We're going to put all that on the back burner until we figure out exactly what happened with rewards and with pulling the correct guild members list. There should also be a blog coming out in the next couple days about the guild nodes in general. But yeah, once version 2 comes out of the guild's feature set, there should be some more updates to it that make it a little bit more user friendly. This first version was just to make sure we had the absolute basics covered, that it worked properly, and that it did what we wanted it to do. So, all right, the next question I have here says, please explain what happened with the rewards and the inability to log in to the forever mode. All I know is that the rewards had something to do with the tool we use to set up distribution on the platform. So that's been resolved now, but obviously we didn't realize what the issue was right away, so it did take a little bit of time, but it's all fixed now. Everything went out properly. We're not 100% sure what's going on with the common ground world mode yet either, but there are engineers looking into it. So I know that the login is very slow. A lot of people are having some trouble getting in, but I have heard that if you keep trying to get in, you will get in eventually. It may not have fast forwarded, but you will be able to get in, and then if you let it run for a while, it'll start working again properly, and then you can load back in the next time you play. So if you're having trouble logging into the common ground world mode of the game, I suggest just continue to try if you want to get in there and play. The next question I have here says, is it possible to reduce the event time from 4 days to 3 days? Currently, the event is 3 days long, so I'm not 100% sure who asked this question or how they're doing math, but it is 3 days long. The next question says, when 100% rebates for Townstar sales? We did do a 100% rebate sale not too long ago. I think it was after May Mayhem, so it shouldn't have been too long ago. I don't know when the next one that we're doing is. I think Vox was doing one most recently for land, but I don't know when we might be doing one. I haven't heard anything about it at all, so I wouldn't hope for anything anytime soon. And the last question I have says, when quality of life improvements? Please don't say after promises. And the response written here says, after promises. So yeah, we won't be doing any of those quality of life things like we say almost every week here in the town hall until after we fulfill all the rest of these promises and the things that are on our current roadmap. Once we get some of these bigger features put in, then we'll start working on quality of life improvements. It'll be easier once we get all of those new features in to work on the quality of life improvements, because if we start doing those types of things now, even like simple, UI changes, and then we add a huge feature to the game, we'll have to go back and do that quality of life improvement again. So it makes sense to just wait until we get the big features in and then do it all at one time. And that's all I have for questions that got pre-submitted. Does anyone have any questions in Discord? I don't even see anybody talking in Discord. I do see one odd gent, though. All right, well, we'll skip the live Q&A for now and move on to the meta information. So this week we did fruit pie. I hope everybody enjoyed fruit pie. It was a pretty easy build. It wasn't too complicated. Lots of fruit with the blueberries, the apples, and the strawberries, and then just really just butter and dough. So it was a pretty easy meta for anybody who played it. Seen some pretty good rates. That'll be over in about an hour and 45 minutes. I imagine those rewards will be out early next week. Next week's event is another Starlight Market Box event. This one we voted on as a community. We had the poll up for a few days at the least. And everybody voted, and the winners were oak barrels, gold, and jam. So we set it at 8 oak barrels, 15 gold, 2 jam, and then of course a wooden box because it is a Starlight Market Box. Craft time for that is the same as normal. It's 60 seconds. It's not affected by anything. The trade time for that week is going to be 40 seconds and just 1 gasoline. It'll be a desert biome, so there will be an oil seep for anybody who needs an oil seep. The edges are desert to the north, mountain to the east, a river to the south, and another river to the west. There's a picture of it right in the announcements if you haven't seen it yet, but I will share it in Discord in the main chat anyway, just in case. And it should be showing right on the YouTube as well if you're watching. So there it is. You've got a little setup ready for your gasoline whenever you get there. So it should be a pretty easy startup for most players. Yes, Delano, the map will be updated today. It always happens on Fridays, usually from anytime from like 1 hour to 5 hours after the end of the event, depending on what bug fixes or anything need to go in. The cash boosts for next week are the golds, the oak barrels, and the jam. So we cash boosted all of the different ingredients. So gold looks like it's about doubled at 97.60. Oak barrels are also doubled at 11,000, and jam is doubled as well at 50,000 cash. So if you're looking for a good cash rush, just start with the ingredients that are already in the box. Should be a nice, easy build up. We did delay the blueprint reward from this current week until next week due to the bug that's in the game currently, so that people didn't have to play this week with the bug if they didn't want to. So that'll be next week as well. It's a crafty candy shop blueprint. That'll speed up the craft times for the candy shops and for the candy shop NFTs, the lolly and pop shops. So the diamond one will boost craft time by 20%, platinum by 18%, legendary by 16%, epic by 14%, rare by 12%, and uncommon by 10%. In order to get that uncommon one, you don't need to get in the top 1200 ranks. You just need to sell at least 100 Starlight Market boxes. So it's not too bad. You should be able to get the uncommon one pretty easy, even if you're not that great at the game or don't have a ton of time. And that is all I have about next week's event. Let me see if there's any questions here in Discord. I see Billy has a question about the beacon radius. I haven't seen any further discussions on that yet, but I know that it's still out there waiting for a response. So I will try to escalate that today and see if we can get someone to figure it out. I mean, I know the decision was made to try to return it back to what it was before that update that made it less radius. But the problem is trying to add code to make it into that strange shape. So I don't know if a decision has been made on whether we were going to try to adjust it to make it exactly what it was before or just make it more powerful. That way it wasn't like a nerf, which was definitely not our intention. So I will let you know as soon as I hear more from the powers that be. Do we have any other live questions? Not that I see. Very quiet. All right. So I guess I'll move on to the sale this week. The sale this week is an iron mine. It's rare. It's a 3x3 NFT, so it's going to be a little bit smaller than a standard tile. It doesn't require a road, but it does require it be placed on a mountain like a standard in-game iron mine would, not like the shallow mine where it can be placed on any edge. It does produce less dirty than a standard in-game iron mine. So the standard has 3 dirty, and this one will only cast 1 dirty, and it's not affected negatively by water. So you can place it right next to a pond, right next to your water edge, right next to a water pump with a water, and it won't be slowed down, which is a great benefit. I think that's all that I have on that. The price is $199.99. There's going to be 350 of them in the store, and they will be right in the store later today. We got some questions here. We've got one from, looks like Rack 6 from Dub. Says, from Rochelle, you mentioned no guild event anytime soon. That is correct. I imagine the next one won't be until August. There's no exact set date on when the next one will be, but it won't be anytime in the next few weeks. So another question from Billy says, when poll on event start time? I can try to get that next quarterly community survey sent out next week. I could probably try to build it this weekend and get it out for you guys next week, if that's what you want. I know there was a lot of discussion the other day about changing the start time of the events or changing it to a different day. So we'll see if this poll will be different than the other polls. Perhaps we'll get a different event start time this time. That's pretty much all I have for information in the town hall, unless you guys have any questions. Hopefully everybody's having a good event this week. Lonely Island says, Farmer Michelle, can I suggest cheaper NFTs and more of them? I think if you sold the Iron Mine this week for $70 and tripled the quantity, you would sell more of them. 200 for them is too much. It should be a similar price to the Fancy Barn. I bought 6 of those. I won't buy 6 of these mines. That is not something I have any control over. Feel free to send your comments to Riant, and he can look at that. I know he has all the data and pulls all that information, and that is how he makes the decisions on what will sell and won't sell for prices and quantities. Well, if nobody has any other questions, we might just make it a super short one. I guess it's been 22 minutes. That's not terrible for just being myself and Ninja Surprise this week. If you guys have any questions you definitely want Volcron to answer, feel free to tag me right in Discord and I'll send them his way. I think he's on vacation all weekend, but when he gets back on Monday, I can let him know that people had questions for him. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to watch more of these town halls, we do them every other week. So there won't be one next Friday, but there will be one the Friday after that. And the best way to get notifications is if you like and subscribe. And that's all I have for this week. So everybody have a great weekend. And we'll see you next time.
See you guys. Thanks.